I would say my inspiration comes from a lot of places, actually. It comes from music, comes from movies, it comes from fellow artists, people that I follow online. Like I get my inspiration from a lot of different sources. So inspiration just kind of comes from everywhere. It's not really one source. It's just, it changes, it varies every single day. The basic definition of symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between two entities. I chose this name because it really represents the relationship between the subjects that I photograph and the environment. In my opinion, cities shape the way people think, the way people live, and even the way they express themselves. Which means that not only do we shape our cities, but they shape us. And that symbiotic relationship is precisely what I'm trying to highlight in this story. As well as my relationship with Camila, who is the other exhibitor. She is also very interested in telling her own stories and photographing subjects in a similar manner. We don't shoot the same, but they are somehow related. Her and I became good friends, and their relationship has always been symbiotic, and that's part of the reason why we decided to exhibit together in Seoul, South Korea. So Symbiosis is a play on many angles of this exhibition. It's about our work, it's about our friendship, it's just many things. He works on many angles. My photos have to match the craziness of this space. This space is, if you really look at it, it's quite crazy because why is there a tile in here? And why is there a fridge right there? If you pan and look that way, there's a fridge. It's really creepy, so I'm trying to make my photos match the crazy of this space. Some way, somehow, and this is the best way I know how. I chose Seoul as the place to exhibit my work because of my friend Camila. She lives here and we had been speaking about doing something together, something meaningful. So I thought that coming over to Seoul and doing an exhibition here with her made a lot of sense. But not only that, I also like Seoul as a city itself. I think there are many stories to be told in Seoul, and I kind of wanted to bring my story to Seoul to see if it would resonate with the people here. What keeps me going is just who I am. I was born with the desire to create things ever since I was a little kid. Always wanted to create things. I would make necklaces, I would draw pictures. I always had to create something. So for me, it's just the organic desire to create things. In fact, I think if it wasn't so, I would have quit a long time ago. Because yeah, I've been burnt out. I have been irrelevant, felt irrelevant for many, many years. And even now, I feel very irrelevant. My work hasn't reached the audience that I want to reach. I haven't made an impact yet. I feel like I'm still just getting started and just now starting to break through. And it feels like there's a very long road ahead and I'm not making enough progress. But there's no quitting for me because it's just what I like to do. I would not like to be known as a fashion photographer. I really would not. I like fashion, I enjoy it, I like to incorporate it into my scenes, but it's not the goal. You know, I'm not in it to photograph people looking fashionable or photograph fashion pieces. I'm into creating a scene, a mood, a story. I like to build a storyline, and if in that story somebody's wearing something that helps build that story, then so be it. But the goal is not to photograph a really cool jacket or really cool shoes or nothing. Those are just elements that help tell the story, but it's not the story itself. Be human, just live. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos from creators, very popular people that always give you these tips and tricks to avoid burnout. But honestly, I think burnout can be a good thing because that just means that you need to live life and inspiration will come to you, because many artists are just drawing inspiration from their own experiences, life experiences. And if you're not having enough experiences, then you're not having enough inspiration to create something, to create new things. So in the times that I felt burnt out, I've just gone back to just being regular me. I enjoy movies, I enjoy video games, I'll eat junk food, I'll just focus on very mundane things that are not related to my work. So in the times that I felt less than motivated, I've always just been okay with being myself and not creating anything for a little bit.
I think it's too slow in first time, but second time video is
runs faster.
It runs faster and clear.
This isn't for everybody. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. If you're somebody who is suffering more than they're enjoying this journey, then maybe it isn't the journey for you. But if it is, and you're dying to continue down this road, fight hard to be yourself. Don't give in to the temptation of switching who you are, switching your content for the sake of being relevant. That dopamine hit that you get when you get many likes and comments is addictive, and that can shape what you're doing. And that will lead to you feeling sad, because eventually your work will have no identity. It won't be who you are, and you won't even recognize what you're doing. Being a traveler and being very public about my life, posting things on Instagram, people can, build the sense that your life is glamorous when it really isn't so. It's much more real than that. And people just don't see the darker side of it. They don't see the struggle. They don't see the many times that you don't have enough money to do something. They don't see the times that you have to stay up until 5, 6 a.m. working and you kind of miss the whole next day because you were too tired. They only see, the food and the stories and the tagging friends. It's also a very lonely lifestyle at times. Sure, you meet a lot of people on the road and those are all great, but they're not old friends. They're not someone that you grew up with. They're not from your hometown. They can't fully understand you because there's a cultural disconnect. So it's really cool to meet people on the road, but at the same time, there is a bit of a void.
Can you tell anybody about this?
It's on video. We're just gonna share it with the world.
Make sure you put that clip.
Tell anybody about this.